Legally Naya. Legally Naya. Hello, everybody. And guess what? We have gotten to 300 hours of my program. And I know I just try to sound excited saying that, but the truth is, a girl is still stressed out. So, can I be real here or can I be real here? I will say hitting 300 hours did give me a good mental boost, a good mental reset, especially when you hit a wall during bar prep. I hit one wall before, but finally reaching 300 hours really let me know like I'm doing this, I'm taking this seriously, I'm in a process, I found my process, and just keep going. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys. Keep going. 375 hours in Barbary is considered to be average passing rate. 432 is considered to be you completed your course. So just getting to 300 hours lets me know like, wow, 375 is average passing. And that will give you a little bit more security. What I will say is I still realize that without knowing your essay statements for real, you are going to feel nervous because MBE is in the beginning. You're going to do practice almost every day after that. So you're going to improve or you're going to at least feel confident knowing you do that. You are going to do essays in your program, but until you really know your rule statements, I feel like those essays aren't a full reflection of where you're at. But something they really don't tell you is to know those essay statements before starting bar prep, or you'll be learning as you go. And I feel like somebody who's been learning their essay statements is not learning at this point. They're just writing essays and they're literally just practicing MBE and learning the new portion of Florida multiple choice. So right now, I am currently still learning my essays, making sure I know it. Active recall is very important. I'll go through a topic every day and I'll just make sure I can say it out loud. I'll make sure I can go through an analysis. I'll make sure I know the definitions. I'll make sure I know the heavy things in torts, what's the heavy things in PR, what's the heavy things in contracts. Yeah, just making sure you're giving yourself a fighting chance. I will say I would probably have felt more comfortable if I knew my essay statements and I was at this point, I would have security. But I'm getting my security by making sure I do it every day. Something they tell you really is that the bar is not a race, it's a marathon. And I really believe that because at first I feel like I was overworking myself. Like I must be perfect. My people who are perfectionists, the bar is going to humble you. And it's okay because you will get through your videos and you'll start to realize this is a lot of information. And you'll start to realize that's why it's important to know what's important and all the other minor rules that come with that too and the exceptions. But you will start to realize what's important and you will need to know that you at least need to know that. And that will give you confidence because you'll realize, oh, 70% of the questions are on this topic. 80% are on this topic. The 20% might be on these little rules, but that's not going to tank you as long as you know the core. So really know the core. And 300 hours just for me was like a wake up that I'm really committed to this process and I'm taking it seriously. I feel like in the beginning I was just doing bar prep, but now I'm like, like bar prepping me, like this is like the gym for me now. Like how somebody might wake up and go to the gym every day. I wake up and study every day. I wake up and have a certain time. Professor Randall, she's my bar prep coach and she makes you create a schedule for yourself. Like what time do you wake up and start? Put eating in there, put your lunch breaks in there, put your walk breaks in there. And that has at least really helped me keep momentum. At first I was complaining to her and I was like, no, like I'm not good at making schedules. I like to go with the flow. I like to go with my spirit. But ever since I've been put on a schedule, I found that I have more time in the day. At first I used to be like, how am I going to do learning my essay? How am I going to do multiple choice? How am I going to write out my wrong questions? But now I do it. Yeah, now I do it. Now I at least do majority. And honestly, it comes from seeing what time you have and not freaking out. Because I used to like read my flashcards and I'd be like, no, I need to go back to my program because if not, then I won't finish my program for today. But now it's like when you see the allocated times on paper, you realize you have time to do everything. And that was really a switch for me. And that has kept my momentum. And now that I see that I'm at 300 hours, well, I'm a little over now, but just knowing that getting to 375 is possible, everything just starts to feel possible. Like you're like, wait, I can do this. I can become the average passing score. 432 is the full program. I can get there. It starts to become very attainable to you. But you really need to start practicing the deeper you get into like time conditions or just doing 200 maybe MBE questions in one day and giving yourself stimulation or writing 3 essays in one day the next day. Even if you're not doing full bar stimulation, you're giving yourself a taste of it. And that's what I plan on doing down the line. Right now we're in January, but I am going towards February after I get through all these essay statements. Guess what? Now I take out these 3 essays, write an essay today. I need you to do 200 multiple choice questions. Yes, that's me. That's me. And this is just my way. And I found that my way isn't everybody's way. And that's okay because I know what I need to do for me. And you should be doing what you need to do for you. Something else that I really liked that Professor Randall gave me was study during the hours of your bar test. I was studying at 4 a.m. and I can't even lie to y'all. That was helping me get through my program because I really was struggling to sit down at first. But I feel like that's why I had to start early because I had to learn how to sit down and really be disciplined. But now that I got that under my belt, I do study during the times of the bar. They say the bar is at like 8:39, whatever. I wake up and like 8:39 to like 5 something, 5 p.m. So that's my real window. Like I kind of do start at 7, which but I stop my day at like 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6:45, however long it takes me to get through there. So I make sure I'm up and I'm focused and I'm studying during times of the bar. I also want to say that comparison is a thief of all joy. I don't think that anyone, I know I share a lot online, but that's because this is online and I'm trying to give you a taste of my experience so that you cannot make mistakes that I did. But a lot of people want to know, like, where are you at? What are you doing? Oh, how many hours? And it might seem sweet and dandy, but I realize that's not healthy for you or them because this is an individual journey and it's very easy to feel like you're behind or you're lacking. I remember like somebody told me something simple in a subject I was struggling with early on, and they're like, oh, that's very easy. And that made me feel so much doubt just from hearing those words. So I just feel like this is the bar. You should keep things to you. Make sure you're just working on your errors because what's hard for someone is easy to another person, and what's easy to another person is hard for another person. So I just feel like the best way to respect your friends, respect other people during the bar is keeping your progress, keeping what you're doing to yourself, and just sending simple encouragement. Good morning, girly. You got this today. Let's keep the bar positive. Let's keep the bar light. Let's not make it harder than when it has to be. And make sure you're not being negative during the process because what I realized is that mindset is everything. Mindset will keep you happy to study. Mindset will keep you calm. And figure out what keeps you going. For some people, that's hanging out with their friends. For me, I realized that's going to bed early. For me, I realized that's having extra time to do a facial and go to sleep. For me, I realized that's extra time with my son. I'm a very simple person and I realized that through the bar. And everyone's different. So respect that and respect yourself through this process. But this is just a video of me reflecting on 300 hours. I have a lot to go. Please don't take this as me saying I'm perfect. Have a lot to learn, have a lot more to drill, have a lot more to do, have a lot more essay rule statements to learn. But this is me saying trust the process and trust yours. And don't let nobody trick you out your spot by telling you what's best for you because you know you and this is your bar exam. And you have to think, how will I feel when I see my bar results? Should I have listened to somebody else or should I have listened to me who knows me? Keep that in mind. And see you guys. Hopefully I get to 375 hours and then 432. But the main thing is you need to still do your practice. You still need to do your multiple choice and you need to learn those rule statements before your exam day. Legally, Naya. Legally, Naya. Put yourself first.